Okay, this device is the root of all of your problems. Alright, admittedly that was a little bit over dramatic. Don't get me wrong, I love phones. You can do so much with them. You can call, you can text, you can entertain yourself watching Netflix, play games, listen to audiobooks, look up information. Now you have Google Gemini or ChatGPT, everything in the palm of your hands. And obviously they have also great photo cameras. But what's the sentence? Jack of all trades, master of none? That might be a little bit over dramatic as well. You can do a lot and this thing masters all of them. But you can also kind of waste time on social media. You can doom scroll, and for some media there is some form of brain rot as well. So you could argue it's not everything is great on this. And I think the most important part is all of this social media that kind of distracts you, but also if you're using this in terms of work capacity, all of the notifications are very distracting. So there is a huge argument that this potentially is causing a lot of negative distractions. And although this device is, as I said, amazing, it can do a lot of things. And even if you would say, oh, okay, I'm doing a lot of photography with this, there will be notifications that will kind of distract you. Or you will at least be tempted to do anything else. Or you start a game, for example, and then you kind of are tempted, oh, let's look at Instagram. And that is somewhat of a downward spiral that you will not be able to kind of concentrate on that specific task that you had in mind, that you kind of wanted to focus on. And this phone, this technology will always distract you. So what's the solution? For me, the solution is actually pretty easy. Having two dedicated separate devices in addition to my phone. Again, your phone can basically do everything that I will kind of suggest to you now, especially my Fold 5 that I can fold open, is a perfect entertainment device, not only to watch movies but also to play games. But as I said, there will be a lot of distractions and a couple of other things where these items come in handy. As I said, jack of all trades, master of none. So this is the Anbernic RG35XX Plus retro gaming device. This is a Game Boy-alike device that can emulate a lot of systems like Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, but also Sega Genesis up to PlayStation 1. I'm actually currently playing Final Fantasy VIII. Not only gives this me the opportunity to play the games on a dedicated device with haptic buttons, which makes gaming so much more enjoyable. But more importantly, there are no distractions. There are no notifications. I am basically dialed into the game. I can play without having like an on-screen notification. Hey, there is some business related very important thing that you need to take care of. Or the Nigerian prince that is telling me, oh, you have a lot of money here in Nigeria. Do you want me to give your bank account, your PIN number and all of your passwords so I can send you that money over? None of those notifications that are annoying me. And that is why I love this gaming device so much. And I know there will be a couple of comments. I've seen those comments on my main channel. Why does a grown-up adult person play with retro gaming device? And my argument is, the older you get, the more responsibilities you have. Why was that so difficult to say? I'm not cutting this out. I'm leaving this in. I just thought maybe do a cut. No, I'm leaving it in because it was a difficult word and I achieved saying responsibilities. So the more responsibilities you have, and you sometimes need to detach yourself from those responsibilities, those things that will kind of weigh on your shoulders, that are very heavily on your shoulders. Paying rent, taking care of family members and stuff like that. All important, don't get me wrong. But just like in a plane where you first put on the air mask on yourself and then you take care of your child, you need to take care of yourself as well. You need to have some kind of empty space in your brain that you can only get if you sometimes unplug from the notifications on your phone. And then going into a game, distracting yourself from those responsibilities is really important. And yes, you could say, then just get an Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. But for those games, you need also to have some times. With this, you can basically, during your commute in the subway or when you have to wait for your coffee machine to switch on, you can just switch this on, play for a couple of minutes, not long, Tetris, a game that doesn't require a lot of story, where it is okay if you don't play it for a whole week and then go back into the game. That's perfect. That is why this device is, in my humble opinion, even more important the older you get. Just to unplug, get away from those responsibilities for just a couple of minutes, play a game, no notifications, and just dial into this. And it's so much more enjoyable than being on your phone and then sometimes getting distracted, or even worse, thinking, oh, let's check out Instagram or TikTok and doom scroll. Then suddenly you went there for an hour, doom scrolling, doing nothing productive. Yes, this might not be productive as well, but I mean, I could argue that playing something like Tetris is good for your brain in terms of kind of thinking for those puzzles and stuff like that. So that is just some food for thought. And the next item is the camera. So, and the next item is, if you potentially have seen my vlogs about street photography, is this new small little 18-year-old camera, the Canon G9. It's definitely not as good as the camera in my phone. And maybe if you've seen a couple of reviews, if you are into tech, into phone tech as well, the Fold 5 is pretty much known for not having a good or an up to par camera quality like all of the flagships. But this is still better than this in many regards. But this is so much fun. First and foremost, as I said, having something dedicated to one single task is, in a way, a better experience because you have buttons. There's so much enjoyable things to say about having physical buttons, be it on a gaming device or on a photography device like this small little point and shoot camera. You have a shutter button, you have a couple of mechanical dials that you can turn. You actually have a tiny viewfinder here that is pretty much unusable. Still, it is fun to use. And having this dedicated device with things that make not only the shooting experience more enjoyable, but also all of the small little details like, oh, I can set up my shutter speed, I can set up my aperture. If you don't know, in most phone cameras, you actually only can kind of dial in the shutter, but not really the aperture. And you are lacking a lot of the manual things that you want to kind of take care of when you're doing photography. But with this device, the point and shoot, I actually leave it in program automatic mode anyways, because I just want to take pictures. I just want to kind of see something that I enjoy, point my camera at it and shoot away basically. Then also this has a flash. Yes, there is an LED on your phone, but this has a proper flash. And if you utilize it properly, you can actually get this very nostalgic feeling. I use this as a party camera and I always set it to second curtain flash. So when I'm in a dark situation, I can actually take a shot. It does a pre-flash and has a very long exposure, and then you move slightly the camera and then there is another flash that kind of freezes the last moment and gives you like this very dynamic, blurry but still somewhat sharp and recognizable image. And that was amazing for party shots because it gives this very dynamic but fun aesthetic. Furthermore, this has a CCD sensor and it gives more of that nostalgic feeling, which again brings me to my point why you should have a dedicated camera. Not only gives it you the better experience in terms of shooting, but in this case, it actually gives me pictures with much more character, with an old school nostalgic vibe to it, due to its CCD sensor, due to it being very old, not that great, due to it having a flash that I can set to second curtain.
and it having a very, it would be a little bit far-fetched to say old school analog grain feel, but still it actually has somewhat of an old school point and shoot, it is a point and shoot camera, an old school feeling to it, a 90s vibe, which it is 18 years old. So not only is the experience better, it gives me really characteristic images, and it's tiny. It's so small I can carry it with me. But there is the argument, why would you if your phone can actually do this all? Alright, so in summary, I mean, I'm sounding like a broken record. I think a phone is such a capable device. I love my phone. I actually love my Fold 5. It is my MVP in my arsenal. But there is, as I said, the argument of it being a jack of all trades, and more importantly, it kind of is taking you out of the moment. It is always pulling you in so many directions. So either you are distracted by notifications that, let's be real, for me as a freelancer, they always bring me back to work. There is an email from a client, there is an email from, I don't know, from the energy supplier of my house with, oh, your energy costs are now higher, or whatever, water bills. Every notification brings me back to the reality of having responsibilities, and that is totally okay. Then also the distractions of going into social media and doom scrolling, or the distraction of having too much. For example, I also made this vlog about music. You go into Spotify, or in my case YouTube Music, you are overwhelmed with too many choices of albums that you can listen to. Or when you are taking photography, you want to go street photography and you don't have a shutter button on your phone. So being able to go to a different device for that specific task, either photography or gaming, where you can actually kind of get away from those notifications that pull you back into your responsibilities, is a good thing. Yes, you have to carry a little bit more, but as you have seen with my Canon G9, it's not that big. The RG35XX Plus, it's the Plus device. There's actually a smaller device, but still, even the Plus device isn't that big. So it's not a big deal to actually carry one of the other. You don't have to take both of them, obviously, if you are crazy like me. And you carry your phone, your Fold 5, DJI Pocket 3 that I'm using right now to record, then the Anbernic gaming device, and potentially the Canon G9 as well. Of course your bag is too full, and that's basically the reason why I always carry a sling bag. But I like to have all of these devices with me, and I would argue that for me, I have a much more enjoyable time, especially when I can kind of put away the phone from time to time. For example, I was sitting in a cafe last time and I thought, should I doom scroll? No, I'm going to start up a Kirby's Dream Land. I played Kirby's Dream Land while I was in the cafe. It was so much more enjoyable. Are people looking? Yes. They think like, what is this grown man doing? But I don't care. I'm getting away from those notifications. So my argument is, try to find a couple of things that are dedicated to one task. In my case, a gaming device, a camera. Maybe in your case, maybe you like to do music. I've seen those cool little instruments, drum machines from Teenage Engineering that are small as well, that you can take with you. Or maybe you're all into music as well, buy yourself an iPod. And I think that is where I will leave you. What is your dedicated device that you potentially could include in your everyday carry to kind of get away from your phone? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you're interested in the RG35XX Plus, also check out the affiliate links down below. With those you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And I hope you enjoyed this small little different kind of vlog. Maybe check out my street photography vlog in the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here, and don't forget to subscribe, helping me to get to 1000 subscribers by clicking the button up here. And I see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.